Where the therapist did really well at the beginning was when I said, I know I'm going to fail, and it immediately went to,
let's challenge that thought. What evidence do you have that you'll fail? Now, let's look at the evidence that suggests you might do well.
this is like CBT 101. It's something called putting the thought on trial. You want to examine the evidence that things will go bad and the evidence that they won't go bad. And you always want to end with the positive things. It kind of helps orient you towards change. All right, so we're off to a good start. It's essentially filling out this template verbally, going along with me. Now let's get into the meatier stuff. I told it I was worried about failing step 1 and that was the most important exam I would ever take. This is how it responded.
It's true that step 1 is important, but your worth isn't tied to a single outcome.
Step 1 isn't an important test. It's like the test of medical school. And I think if a therapist told that to me, I'd be like, you don't understand how important this test is. I'd be a little bit mad. And then she connects that with, but your worth is not defined by a test. So that's a really nice directive approach, but I could say my worth is defined by the test. If you jump too fast on asserting truth, something called therapeutic reactance can happen, which is just resistance. It's really this feeling inside you where you're like, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what I am or am not, and you kind of put up some walls. Regarding cognitive distortions, though, everything was really good.
I noticed some all or nothing thinking, like seeing the test as a make or break moment. There's also overgeneralization, assuming that one test result predicts your entire future.
Those are both very true things, and they're maladaptive core beliefs that I was putting forward. I also had some fortune telling. I don't know these things for certain, but I'm pretending that I do. So it's pretty high level thinking for it to recognize those statements and see which categories they fall under. But towards the end, I tried to get more abstract ideas, and I asked it about maladaptive core beliefs, to which it responded.
It sounds like there's a core belief around perfectionism or catastrophizing. Like if you don't perform perfectly, you'll face severe consequences. Another might be doubting your own competence despite evidence to the contrary.
So catastrophizing and perfectionism are true, but they're not really like core beliefs. I guess her core belief that she put forward was, if I don't do well, there will be severe consequences. But that's kind of true though, if you consider not matching into your specialty a severe consequence. I think the underlying question is, why is that a severe consequence? There's another belief there somewhere. But why is my career so important to me? Why do I have to be successful in academia? Why? Like, there's a belief somewhere where, like, I'm not worthy as a human if I don't excel academically. And that, I think, isn't captured by, if I don't perform well, there'll be bad consequences. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Overall, I thought the therapist did pretty well. I think it did a good job of taking my questions and finding what CBT templates they fit into. It offered some validating statements, and it directed everything towards action really fast. I think it was a little bit too directive. It didn't really have much of a Socratic approach and would often say, these are your feelings, but what are we going to do about it? How do we push towards action and control? I think some people could respond really well to that, but other people could find it invalidating or just say, you don't know me, you don't know anything about this, and kind of put up walls against it. So there you go. That's what you get from an AI therapist.